What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classic Line Blog. You know I want to say God bless America when I'm standing beside the American flag. And I just want you guys to thank you so much for all your well wishes on, I'm telling my birthdays, passings of my family, this channel, buildings, new construction, old construction, rentals. Listen, the best is yet to come. Thank you so much for the 10 years on this channel. And I just want to thank you for all the things that you guys have contributed to my life and that I contribute to yours. And so listen, I hope this year can be even better, and I hope you grab the book, All Roads Lead to Real Estate. We're talking about digital real estate, online to the real dirt in your hand, and we'll have lots of good commentary inside that book to help you navigate how can you grow in this economy and also grow and play Monopoly in real life for you and your family. You guys, this doesn't have to be the worst time in our economy. It can be one of the best if you make a decision and move forward in your life. This is your girl Erica. Thank you. What is good, everybody? Listen, it's 2 times on a Tuesday, okay? Turned up on a Tuesday. All right, so listen, Tech Tuesday before summer sabbatical with Dr. Patrick Dix by massive request. Mr. Patrick, you just finished leaving the young mommies in hot Miamis.
Yeah, I just finished down there with my Cubanos and my Ismael down there doing everything. So I didn't see anybody. Nobody came up to me down there in Miami, but I hung out once we filmed that podcast and went to a private event with the guy and met some people.
You know, that's because they working 4 jobs down there. They're working 4 jobs to be in Miami.
But we were down in Brickell. I stayed close to Brickell. Well, I could walk to Brickell, and I had fun, and I was able to eat me some good sushi and just walk around. I didn't even Uber. I was able to walk everywhere, and I was able to smoke me some good Fuente cigars and network with people and just chill out. So yeah, but I'll probably go back sometime this year too.
You know, me and Dr. Dix was having some funny offline, and I was just telling him every time he do a picture at a podcast, I would not let them stand up beside me. Dr. Dix be like clowning people. He be 6'1" and they be 5'3" every time. I'd be like, sir, sit down in the chair, making them look short. But Dr. Dix, you know what time it is. Listen, I don't know if you saw my show today. You probably were quite busy, but you know they're changing. They're proposing a bill right now, and I was ready for your commentary. Section 8, to get Section 8, if you're able-bodied, it's only 2 years. If you're disabled, you're a widow, you're elderly, you got all these other issues, you good. But if you able-bodied, there's nothing wrong with you. They stand 2 years is the cutoff. Share your thoughts with us, Dr. Dix.
I totally agree with it because I think it was the Clinton administration, or it might be the Trump administration's previous term, where they were trying to get people to go to work because they were trying to do the not the blue plate. Yeah, the blue plate. They were trying to work on something back then, but I completely agree. Section 8 is just a bump in the road. It's kind of like unemployment. It's temporary, not permanent, but I totally agree with it.
All right, and tonight, listen, as much as I love y'all, stay on task. Stay on code. Don't be talking about nothing else. It's tech, some more tech, and how's your day? How you doing? If you see me time you out, don't take it personal. I'm just trying to clean it up. Again, you guys, I just want to tell you like this. Your girl be getting sponsors, and they be watching the videos, and they be like, do you normally talk about these type of things? So I just want to tell y'all, like, hey, keep it in the lines. Well, and here's my thing with Dr. Dix. We've been telling people for years now, hey, they're going to change this stuff. They're going to change this stuff. They're not going to let you just be chilling in there for years with no real issues. They're going to be like, what's going on with you? Now,
no, they're not. No, they're not. Taxpayers are tired of funding it. So I'm glad that something's being done about it. And 9 times out of 10, that bill will pass.
Well, the crazy part, everybody's like, well, what about all these businesses, these billionaires getting tax write-off? I'm like, these billionaires are hiring people at these companies. Amazon hires people. They put a bunch of y'all in the warehouse. It's a even wash. I know y'all don't think it is. It's an even wash. Now, Dr. Dick shared with us the news release of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Department of Labor. All right, the first quarter, what was they making, Dr. Dix? Was they making any money?
$1,194. So You know, that argument, I still see a lot of channels talking about education is not valuable. So when Erica strolls down, you'll see the different levels of education and what they made. But if you do 1,000, let me do that math. Let's
It
just say
said the Hispanic
1,200.
people was making low money, but let me tell you, some of that was under the table. The next
Mm-hmm.
lowest to Hispanic people were black people at $1,000 a week. White 1,200, Asian 1,500. Again, these are medium. Black men $1,000, $1,017 a week. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
white man was doing 1,300 a week. Okay, enough for the tricking. All right, let me go down here. Black women, y'all were making on average $984 a week. The white ladies are pulling 1,100. Now, why are we bringing this up again? Asian men and women were Asian men were making 1,800 a week, and they women was making 1,500 almost a week. Now, why are we bringing this up? You're gonna say, Erica, it doesn't matter. Why are you bringing these topics up? Focus. Why you got to talk about this? And I just want y'all to understand, like, this is what's out here. When people are talking about everybody is
Make six figures and everything.
Yeah. Like, this is the data. Like, some people may be doing stuff under the radar. Some people may be doing stuff off on the side. They may not be counting it. They may be doing it later. They may be trying to raise their money up. But in general, this is the data.
Yeah, I'm a receipt-driven person, and the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, the Bureau of Labor and Statistics is a very viable source. So I don't, I'm not an emotional person. I don't care what people's emotions say. I go off figures, and this is what the data is stating. Most people, let's just round 1,194 to 1,200. That's 48. That's about $50-something thousand a year. So when people are out here saying everybody balling, they're not balling. We have the factual data right here to pull in, and this is from the first quarter of the year. So this is dictating people have a lot of work to do.
Well,
pretty much what it is.
Excuse me, I apologize. They showed over here, if you're an occupational group, like if you're employed as management, professional related occupations, you pull in almost $2,000 a week if you're a man, and 1,500 almost if you're a woman. But if you're doing service occupations that we talk about so much, when somebody say, "What is a black job?" Service jobs, you are respectively earning, if you're a man, $800, and if you're a woman, $700.
Yep, exactly. Those are those repetitive jobs, as Erica pulled up other articles I sent to her, that will be automated. So the key thing, education attainment. Stroll back up, Erica, down. This is the paragraph I want to cover. Keep going. No, go down a little bit. No, go back up. Right there, education attainment. Stay right there. So right here, we have this argument with everybody talking about education is not viable. People 25 years old with no high school diploma made $743. If you graduated from high school and had no college, you made $953 a week. If you had just a bachelor's degree, you made $1,754. And people with advanced degrees, the highest earning 10% of male workers, made $5,079 more per week, and their female counterparts made $3,528 a week. This is what the data is stating. I continuously still see channels about black people. You don't need no education. Anybody, they could just tell them to email me, go on my channel. This right here is showing you from basic data how viable and how important an education is. You have factual data. You cannot beat the statistics. If somebody wants to go against the statistics, please let me know. But this is the data right here, and this is what it's spitting out.
And what a lot of people, when we talk about starting businesses, well, I'm just going to start a business. 9 times out of 10 of the people you see in social media that are starting businesses, they usually have high paying jobs, and they use the spillover from that money to start the business, or they have credit, right? We can't have low money, bad credit, no availability of money. There has to be some kind of change in there, right? We have to get the income up. We have to get somehow, right? You have to be of service. People don't like that word, but that's the truth. You have to be of service. And so I don't mind traveling nurses making money. I don't mind traveling CNAs making money. If there's not enough of them and you're moving them around the country, hey, that's on them, right? Till we can fix the pipeline issue. But at the end of the day, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie.
No, the numbers don't lie. And this is what we're up against. And y'all know the prices of houses and land and what it costs to live right now. So if you're one of these people that are in one of these scenarios, you know, on my Instagram right now, I talk about some of the jobs that AI will create. And, you know, it's about an AI engineer, AI expert, AI auditor. Right now, it's the opportunity of a lifetime. Even when I went to Atlanta a couple of weeks ago and filmed that podcast with Say Word, I talked about what is really going to be needed for the future. And Erica, I sent her an article about how the HVAC business is about to increase by 41%.
I'm gonna get to it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I mainly wanted to cover in that article about the education attainment and the money that people are not making.
I meant to tell you earlier, somebody today tried to say, well, everybody can't be plumbers and electricians and stuff. And it was a white dude. And I really want to say, you know what that sounds like? Excuses. You don't want to be a plumber, you know, but the truth is they're like construction will end at some point. And I'm like, that is the most incorrect data ever. They think construction means new housing. Construction means the roads, the bridges, the schools. I'm talking about the school in Houston. They're about to tear it down. They have to because mold and all kind of stuff that got into the law library. So it's like trying to save books, trying to do all this stuff. Like construction will always be a thing. That's why I'm kind of laughing when I hear these people like, oh, everybody don't want to do blue collar work, Eric, and tear up their back. Well, baby, you already 40.
Yeah, yeah. And
come on, man.
When I was in Miami, it's the same thing when I come to Atlanta. They're building the freeway, but on 95, they are building. Man, when I was over there in Brickell, those condos, those tower cranes, it is just up and up and up and up and up and up. They are building that city, and they need construction people. They need HVAC people. I mean, you go to a city like Miami, I mean, it gets hot down there. We're talking about the air conditioning market. Somebody could be a millionaire in 5 to 10 years just having an air conditioning service company right there in Miami. And, you know, you got Key Biscayne, you got South Beach, you got Coconut Grove, you got Brickell. I mean, you got Coral Gables. I mean, those industries are big down there, your maintenance people. So blue collar work is really what's really building Miami right now. So I see it all around us.
Again, in Texas, you can't even have your air go out, I think, for more than 2 hours in Texas because of the heat temperatures. Arizona too. Arizona's got some laws for their AC, their electricity companies. But you even see in Arizona, they got the units on the roof. Okay, like HVAC. Grant Cardone for a while was just running nothing but ads to buy HVAC companies. And there's a reason. So Fanny said she had to get a high paying job. She told her friend she had to get an office job with my degree and leave the fitness trainer until I can have extra money. He didn't agree. We stopped talking for a year. I want y'all to understand a lot of the stuff y'all seeing on social media, like there's a time and a place and they go hard. Nick Perry, the dude that does all that wholesaling, he was a personal trainer. And he was like, man, I'm about to be homeless in my car, sleeping in my car. I've got to go get a job. So he got a job in Indeed. They always leave that part of the story out, but y'all can see the old interview here right here on this channel. He got a job in Indeed, and that's how he learned how to do PPC. That's how he learned how to work the internet. It's through some of these jobs, y'all going to learn how to run and make money. It's not always the worst thing.
Yeah, everybody see about everybody think everybody on social media living their best life. Right here in this article, and 41% is saying it's expecting to be $331 billion. Go back up a little bit, Erica. No, I mean down. My bad.
All right, now look, man.
Right. Yeah, right there.
I'm about to say, get it together.
Morgan Stanley forecasts the global market will grow 41% and be worth $331 billion by the end of this decade. If nobody ever thought to get in the AC business, this is the opportunity and this is the time to do it, especially here and overseas. You got Puerto Rico, you got these countries everybody want to travel to. They got to have HVAC, they got to have plumbing, they got to have electricity. This is one of the big fields I tell everybody to go into the trades besides, the STEM field. But everybody right now, there's opportunity for you to do whatever you need to do, but you have to get in something viable. The other articles that I sent to Erica will be talking about how AI is going to eliminate jobs and what you need to do. So it is really time to get serious and stop worrying about the Shannon Sharp stuff, the stuff with Shedeur Sanders. There's always a distraction when there's something serious going on. every week, and people are losing their homes. People can't afford to live right now. The job market, y'all know it's about to be the summertime, and everybody want to get on the Trump administration and say everything. I'm like, no, you gotta fend for yourself. It is money time right now. So, and it's time to get to work, but everybody want to worry about the wrong things right now. So I just see in the future with all this stuff, like, you know, on YouTube, I can see they're going to use AI. You know how people do reaction videos? Eventually, they're going to find a way to stop that. It's only just a matter of time. People are not going to be able to make money on YouTube unless it's stuff like what Erica's talking about, or real stuff, because people are going to be able to copyright their material some kind of way. It's only a matter of time, y'all, before this happens.
Oh, yeah. Even when I do stuff now, it'll ask me, is this altered content? Is this AI content? It'll ask me in the YouTube now. Now, I was going to say right here, she said, I have someone I'm mentoring. She's 51 and her main thing is Instacart. I keep trying to advise her to get a high paying job. She feels like she's a business owner. You know why? This is the pandemic. And right now her doing Instacart is the first time she probably ever felt like she has time freedom. Mm-hmm. And she's confusing time freedom with like, oh, like I'm a business owner. Like, and a lot of people do that. Like, there's a lot of template businesses she could do, depending on what her skills is, right? If she out there doing Instagram, she could do mobile order, she could do a bunch of stuff. But like, at the end of the day, what people are thirsting for is the time freedom to not have to be somewhere every way 9 to 5. That's what they're thirsting for. So, notary world, good luck. Good luck on that.
But sometimes you got to do that until you get everything in motion. There's nothing wrong with working the job. And, you know, I'll see some of the videos where people are trying to make people feel bad. You work. Like, if you don't work, how do you have health and medical insurance and dental insurance? I mean, it's high as it is, but how do you make money to take care of yourself? So we got to get out of that shame.
They don't go to the dentist. They don't go to the doctor. They just be like, I feel good. Let me get this ginger ale.
That's what I'll let people shame me. And I said, I know you can't do what I can do. You know, when people talk about like 9 to 5, I'm like, man, you got to do that. Most people do that unless you like born into wealth, you might have to work these jobs 10 to 15 years till you get stuff really started off and move forward. So, yeah.
Well, I was going to even tell you, like, so our neighbor's kid had got on drugs many years ago, and then he got clean, right? But he was working for his family's business. And then he came back and now he's a firefighter. And I just always tell people, I'm like, that's only possible because he don't look like us. You know what I'm saying? And his daddy is a police officer, so they could pull some strings like, hey, man, help my kid out. You know what I mean? But in any other place, no. If y'all doing some weird stuff, you got bad criminal records, you got stuff going on, it's going to be very difficult. Very difficult to just hop.
Yeah, and before we move to the next... Before we move to the next thing, the biggest thing I want people to understand how these computer systems and how the world works now, having that F felony on your record is really going to be detrimental. Having bad credit and everything. People don't understand how it's not racism and it's not just holding people back. Everybody is going to feel this, but the world is very technologically based right now. And your social security number going to tell everything. I feel very prideful when I can just put my social security number down and be like, well, I wonder what rate I'm gonna get. I'm not worrying about not getting the loan or whatnot. I want the best kind of rate. So everybody make sure that you know, you take care of yourself, your mental health, but make sure your background, Google yourself. Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. I really want this to stop. This must be stopped. The universal healthcare, they just had 4 more articles come out. This is how, I'm not trying to be upsetting to you, but they just had 4 more articles come out today how multiple young people in their 30s had died in Canada from cancer because they're like, well, you're too young. So they weren't even giving them the doctor's appointment. And it wasn't until a woman who had been a year later requesting appointments found that she had stage 4 cancer. This is multiple articles like that. That's not the universal healthcare y'all want. They show these people lining up to go to the dentist all on one day. It was 100 people outside. You think they're getting the best dental care in Canada? We seen what Britain teeth look like. Come on, man, knock it off. Like the whole universal healthcare thing, y'all really got to let it go. As long as y'all doing crate challenges outside in the park, we're not doing universal healthcare. Go break your leg on your own time. Goodbye.
Tide Pods and the cinnamon challenge.
No, get out of here. Out here on the internet being goofy. We're not doing that. We're not.
Yeah. So
Come on, this is what I'm telling you, Tommy. I'm a Canadian. People bleed out or die in emergency over simple things. They had a woman who she felt a knot in her breast. She had relatives that lived in Detroit, drove over from Canada to Detroit, made a doctor's appointment, and sure enough, she had breast cancer. And I'm like, they in Canada getting 6 months out before they can get surgery. 6 months, a lot can happen in your body in 6 months.
And you know, to piggyback off of that, this article, y'all, I was looking at Anthony ABL's channel, and it was a black lady talking about, y'all, I moved over here to Ghana. As you know, Erica, in Africa, they don't really care about you like that. And
I went to Zanzibar. They're like, oh, you fell down? You all right? Get up.
Yeah. and you know, she said, I moved over here. Y'all don't move over here. We got so many people I keep seeing that want to leave America. I tell anybody, I know America has its problems. You're not going to find in America what you find anywhere else. Why? And you know, when you leave America and go to other places, people are like, we will give our left ankle up to have the opportunities you have. And, you know, people want to move abroad, but don't really have any solutions to what they're going to do. Unless you got big military retirement or some investment properties, I just want to ask people, you move overseas, what are you going to do to make money? You're going to leave.
What is the consistent way?
Yeah.
What is the every month reoccurring income factor? And I heard this guy talking about, well, he can get his Social Security early. So I'm like, brother, you leaving America early, taking your Social Security early, just so you can go hang out in another country. Good luck. You know what I mean? I wish y'all the best. And I really mean that. Like, again, timestamp Army, your first real business is yourself. Yeah. Your first real business generator is yourself. Dr. Dix can go anywhere and generate business. What do I mean? He can go to multiple colleges and offer what he has, and they come looking for him. Mm-hmm. Again, if y'all ever go, and this is why what I noticed when so many people didn't have a LinkedIn, I was like, how are you expecting high paying jobs and nobody can find you? That didn't make sense to me. Like, there were videos teaching her LinkedIn, and I was like, LinkedIn been out since what, 2005? Nah, 2011.
Yeah.
It's been around a long time.
Yeah, I it's the best way. I've gotten opportunities off of LinkedIn, I told y'all, and I network with somebody. LinkedIn to me is how it's the best way to get a job. And you know, you put in an application, you're not in a pile, you can go straight to the HR people. That's how I look at LinkedIn and network it with everybody, because people can see the real credentials of what you got.
Somebody said, how can we be 2 years ahead in big data analytics and AI? Everything changes so fast. It's so overwhelming. I keep changing up what I study. So Tammy, I would just finish one thing that you're studying, because honestly, like, if you guys have the certifications ebook that I talked to you guys about, they have 4 temp agencies. And literally, I just had to pass a demonstration test, and I did it for the book, but I also did it because I was trying to get one of my students to see, like, it's not hard at all. Like, let's just do this. And literally, they offer all types of opportunities and jobs. And I just want y'all to understand, like just get your foot in the door. Like, anybody that's in tech keeps sliding left or right. They move around. It's a lateral movement. It's not like, I'm just going to do this one job for the next 20 years. That's not how it works with anybody in tech. If they tell you that, I would be very skeptical listening to them. There's not a person that's just done one thing forever in tech.
Well, it's pretty much now. You really got to learn something new in the tech world. About every 3 to 6 months, you got to learn stuff. So now I'm focusing more on quantum computing. That's the next phase. But I tell folks, don't get stuck, because a lot of people like, Abe, I'm able to sit at home. Like, $75,000 is not a lot of money in this world we're living in. And you can't get comfortable with it. People will say, well, that's at the average. But I said, if you're a single person and you don't have no dependents, half your money is going already in taxes.
Man.
And people don't understand that.
Well, and then people get comfortable, right? And so you have to just remind them, like, if this job lets you go next 6 months, what is the alternative? What's the reoccurring income? And really what people have to understand is a lot of these people you see sitting at home, they own assets, or they own rentals, or their mom and dad's on their second house, or they done moved to somewhere cheap in the country, these second tier cities that I love telling y'all about. They're moving around to get the opportunity. So, yeah, it sounds great, but again, ask military people. Ask them how they be missing their appointments.
Yeah, it's a lot of hard work to be successful in life. It's a lot of hard work. What do you guys think of nursing? That's a very, very great field to go into. They don't even have enough nurses, Fanny P.
They just backed up. They're all their nursing schools pretty much from the East Coast to the West Coast are backed up. So if you can get a slot or you can go through one of these boot camps that activate, kind of cut the time in half, I say go for it, because I'm telling you, I see old nurses. My Section 8 tenant was a nurse who had a slight stroke. Okay. And I ain't giving her information out, but she literally is still a nurse. She does like 1 day and a half. Like she just doesn't admin work. Like she ain't even doing heavy duty nursing. And I was like, y'all, that is a field. They're so short. They're like, yeah, girl, you can come back in. You know what I mean? Like, can you pass this test? Yeah, girl, come back in. You know what I mean? Like, you have to understand that's just long-term longevity.
Yeah. It's just thinking down the line and maneuvering. If you're gonna do your BSN, and then go get your MSN and what you want to do, be a director. But I mean, they need nurses all over the world. So yeah. But
when you apply for jobs, they actually ask you for your LinkedIn profile. This is true.
Yeah, on the actual LinkedIn. Yep, they do.
Continuous education, it doesn't stop at graduation, it never ends. Yeah, we pretty much just kind of like, you go from a system of, you should never be so comfortable in your job, like, oh, I could just do this job in my sleep. That's dangerous. Like, that's dangerous for corrections officers. That's dangerous for police officers. That's dangerous for anybody. There should be some uncomfortability and some challenge at anybody's workplace. And I get it. People want to come in and sit at a chair and be on Facebook and TikTok and all that other stuff all day. That's a wrap.
Yeah, it's the real world now. And I was talking with a friend of mine earlier before we go with this article. The previous administration, I think we talked about this on the channel. You could have went to school for free. That was pretty much the last call, as you know, last call for alcohol, as they would say in the club. Now things are getting tough and people are scrambling. It's like the real ID deadline. The DMV is backed up. Y'all, I got a real ID like 5 years ago in 2020, and now people are scrambling. And it goes to show you people don't take things too serious and they're just playing around. So what I want people to understand is it is the real stuff is coming. So if you think you're going to sit and travel this summer, or we're going to go overseas, because I was in the airport, saw all of us going to Mexico.
You already know with the braids, we got the Tulum braids going.
I tell folks, this is not a game right now. And some people are about to be game over. It's very real what's coming down the pipeline, but you have time to prepare. So.
All right, you got some good questions in here. I want to pull one or two to you. Okay.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Let me go here. I'm gonna I'll read them out to you. I'm gonna read them to you. Dr. Dix, I was looking at nursing informatics. I just enrolled into an LPN nursing program and move up from there.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's like people starting at CNAs and then they say they go to nursing school. So I don't see anything wrong with it.
She said, I'm 28. Baby, you ain't never behind. Listen, if you start tomorrow, if you're 40 and you start tomorrow, guess what? You're going in 4 years to 3 years. If you do the boot camp, you're going to be 43. If you start whatever, time will pass. Y'all listen, Dr. Dix and me, how long we been doing this? We've been doing this show. How many years now?
4 years. 4 years.
4 years. And somebody asked me the other day, one of the sponsors asked me for a tech sponsor, was like, how many Tech Tuesdays have you done? I'm like, I had to stop and think. I was like, man, I've been doing this for like 5 years. Been doing this for a minute. So you have to understand the time will pass either way.
I remember in 2011, y'all, I got fired from my job. I was 27 years old. And I remember seeing people on Facebook buying houses and stuff. I got fired from my programming job and I felt so far behind. It wasn't until I got about 31 or 32. I'm like, I'm not behind. I'll be 41 next week. I'm like, I am not behind in life. I'm actually ahead of a lot of people. It just didn't look like that because people were staying still while I was moving forward. But you feel like that sometimes. Nah, you're not behind. You'll realize then as you get older, that's where the gap gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then eventually people can never catch up with you. So I tell everybody, you're never behind if you keep moving forward and trying to do something.
Well, and you're always going to keep meeting new people, new friends, new situations, new associations along the way. Right. I didn't know you 10 years ago. Now I know you. You know what I mean? Like it's that kind of thing. Dr. Dix, with all college enrollment declining, and that's I'm gonna say asterisk on that because Ivy League schools are still packed and University of Texas is still packed and Clark Atlanta had 42,000 applications. So I mean, I know people love to hear this narrative. It's all declining. The medium numbers overall, yes, but trust me, as the recession rolls tight, it's college enrollment is still up. But anyway, what are good courses to invest in the coming years? That was his question or her question.
Blue collar STEM, pretty much. And the colleges enrollment that's declining. We had a college, Limestone University, that's closing in South Carolina. It is 2 words. It is liberal arts. Those are the kind of schools that are going away because what they're teaching is not really usable. You don't hear no trade school closing. You don't hear any school offering STEM. You sure don't hear no school talking about psychology and sociology and social workers. They're not declining. They're actually getting more enrollees, as just like Erica was saying. College enrollment is going to go up, and you're going to have a lot of schools closed that just are not adapting to the way things are done, or they want this in person. And when I've talked to people at school saying, I don't really care how you feel, if you're a dean or a provost over a school, you are going to cripple the school. You should be 50% in person, 50% online. Nobody in this future of this world has time to sit in a class anymore. You got working adults. You cannot require that. You got to get out of that mindset. So most of those schools that just think one track are really going to be the ones that go away.
Man, listen. Okay, here. Okay, here we go. Dr. Diggs, what do you think about AI or AI agent impacting all industries and decimating jobs?
What do you think about AI agent? When you say think about it, it's going to impact them. I mean, the AI agents can do many of the things autonomous. And companies are always trying to figure out ways to get rid of people. But contrary to what all these jobs, let's just keep this thing 100, as the people say. Regardless of what job you work on, your job does not like you. And if they can get rid of you tomorrow, they would. You can go out here and join all these organizations and say, I do all this for the company. If they could find a way to use technology to replace you, they would. People, do not invest your future into a company. Please have 1 foot in and 1 foot out, and just make it to where if two or three things fall right in your life, you can go move towards that. Don't buy stuff and get all into that. Now, you're using your income to invest into the stock market or to buy real estate, that's different. But please do not get on a job and just buy all this stuff and you got to work there and look miserable. I see people at my full-time job, they look so miserable. I'm like, you've been here 30 years? Like, why are you working here? Because they've acquired all this debt, or they on their 3rd wife. They told me
don't have assets.
Yeah, some of the men told me, yeah, like my first 2 wives get some of my pension. I'm like, man, I would have stopped after the first one, but you know, it's
nah, they don't. Not listen. I'm in military town. These people be on their 4th wife. Well, see, what happened was I was 19, I was silly, then I got this other girl 21, and then you know what I'm saying, that just didn't work out. And then they be like, then I was married for 12 years to this one, and now I got my retirement wife. I'd be like, oh, you just don't know how to be by yourself, sir. What is the problem?
Yeah,
but this is a real thing.
Yeah, and the jobs just don't care about you. People are starting to see that, and maybe, you know, people have to get fired. I got fired from a job, 2 jobs. I talk more about that in the future, but your job don't care about you. Just remember that. Always make sure you're able to move in and out about.
They talked about the black woman in February that died at her government job, and she put her head down to take a nap. First of all, I was like, I didn't know we took naps at work. So she put her head down, take a nap, and died. And was there all day till somebody came by her office, was like, hey, what's going on? Your head hurt? She was dead. And people like, it's the stress of Donald Trump firing these people. Sir, don't blame Donald Trump for this woman who is clearly 350, you know, diabetes, you know, some other issues going on. Like, I think they said she ended up dying from diabetes or something like that. Like, she went to sleep and it was like a heart attack or something, or a diabetic coma combination when she slept. But I just was like, as soon as they got your body out that office, they was looking for somebody else to replace you on that job.
Yeah, it's just making sure you're good in the world we're living in now. I mean, they got everything online. Even if you know, it makes no sense in 2025 to say, I don't have this kind of training and education, because things are asynchronous now to where that means you don't even have to sit in the classroom. You just, like many of the schools I teach at, the work just has to be turned in every Sunday. We don't care if you do it all on Saturday night. You get a week to do the work, and that's how a lot of these certifications in schools are. So
Patrick, they have on-hands training almost everywhere now. They have
Yeah.
little boot camps everywhere. They got the boot camps for tech. They got boot camps for roofing. I talked to this young black man. He does you do the bathroom remodels. He
Yeah.
said they flew them to Texas, Dallas, Texas. They went to a week worth of training on how to remodel the bathrooms, do it in one day. And he's like, that was the job, on job training. He didn't know how to do bathrooms before this job. Like,
Mhm.
y'all have to understand, a lot of these jobs are going to train you just enough. Like, you should have enough skills when you leave this job. You could do something with it. You should
You
not
got,
aspire to be in a job that's super easy where you're not doing anything.
because I'll say, like, down there when I was in Miami,
Mm-hmm.
I was so hungry, y'all. Everything's about to close in downtown Brickell. I said,
So
I
hungry.
gotta go to Nasty Burger King. I'm like, oh God. I said, I gotta
Nah,
go.
no, you could have ate
I
some street meats
They
from the
ain't had nothing.
Cubans.
They ain't had all the places
I
closed. It's about 2
listen.
a.m. So,
There's a place we went to. I could have gave you the address off the Brickell with the
well,
street meats. Oh, you
well, it
couldn't have
was a
walked there. You probably couldn't have walked there. It was over
yeah,
closer to the water.
yeah, everything was about closed. So I walked into the Burger King. It had 5 kiosks. The only thing to do was bilingual, yelling out people orders. That's pretty much what we're about to have happen.
Jose. That's what they was doing.
But
Jose,
Patrick, and
Mr.
then
Diggs. You should have put your last name, Diggs. Mr. Diggs. They would have been in there like, they might have not gave you your food. They might have thought you was playing around.
I should have said Patricio. You know, that's my name in Spanish. I can't roll the R, but that's where, yeah, that's where we're headed right now. And I just want people to understand. And then, y'all, I'm gonna be uploading it on my Instagram. They had the robot cart down there in Brickell going around delivering food, and everybody was just walking around, and it would hold up traffic sometimes. But people are just like, people have grown to get conditioned to these things rolling around. So I'll be posting that on my Instagram because I recorded it. And I like to show people this, like, this is in one of the bougiest parts of Miami. And if they got these carts rolling around and got the money, what you think will happen to where you live at?
Listen, there is a Dr. Dix. I don't know if if I can go find it again, I will. There is this car alarm. It's like a cup holder. You could actually put a cup in it. It's big enough. It like when somebody breaks into your car, it like makes a bunch of noise and it takes a picture of them. And I was like, they were looking for investors. I was like, I will go find some money because I would market all night and day to Houston and Atlanta, and we would be rich, Dr. Diggs. We'd be rich. I saw that. I said, baby, I'll be in your commercials. I'll pretend to be the thief breaking their window. You ever see them ads seen on TV commercials?
Yeah.
Really terrible infomercials. Like, I got a ski mask on, I break the window. Like, I'm telling you, like, we're going to a position in a place where if you stupid enough to break somebody's car and then make all that noise and take your picture, good luck. Because it's going to be, you're going to have a lot of photo evidence. Like, I'm telling you, all the people that used to come into Lowe's and steal, and I worked at Lowe's so long ago. I mean, I'm talking about almost 10 years, right? And they were taking your photo in Lowe's then and sending it over to the police department. And the police were just letting you stack up charges on yourself.
Oh, yeah.
You got it real big.
That was 15 years ago. I worked in Walmart, and I don't know if people notice where the cash register is at. There's a camera up there, and they can see they could zoom in. This was 2009 or 10 when I worked there. And they said, oh, we could zoom in enough to see everything, the whole transaction. So, y'all, that was 15 years ago. Just think about how technology has progressed since then. I mean, you're not going to be able to get away with anything. I mean,
they'll be like, sir, here's 97 pictures of, like, you know what they're doing in Texas, right? You get about 50 porch packages. Like, they get up to, I think it's 30 photos of you or 30 times you stole packages. Baby, you're going to jail for 5 years, mandatory minimum. Like, again, in all these Ring cameras, keep coming up here stealing these packages. By the time the police go, oh, here's 30 of them. Easy shut and close case. Bye.
And the thing that gets me are the idiots that go burn the Teslas when the Tesla cars got cameras all on them.
Taking pictures of you.
Like, it's continuously sending data back and forth. Like, I'm gonna just key up all the cyber trucks. The car, this is a living computer. And you know, like, well, what were you doing? It's got 4K capability. I'm like, they can make your face out. Your face is there. People.
OCL Sportsman said, I didn't have a LinkedIn until I was kicked out of the oil field services in 2020. Once I got back working, the communications were nonstop. I'm telling you, like, there's a driver we used to have, great guy, one of the best guys. If I would pay him like $3-4 grand to come back and work with two of the trucks we have left, because he was just top notch. And he didn't want to buy a truck because he has like small kids, and he was like, he's like, I just can't, do the debt right now because one of his kids has like a health issue. I was like, bro, I will pay you extra because it's so hard to get good help, consistent help, like people that want to work, people that ain't doing drugs. I mean, I'm telling you, the drugs out here is all off the chain. Y'all think these truckers getting pulled? They pulling over Indian truckers with drug problems in the trucks. I mean, it's getting bad. So I mean, like, I'd really be making fun of people, but I'd be saying, y'all, if all you got to do is not do drugs on your job and update your LinkedIn, like we're making it too hard out here. Don't have pronouns other than I am Patrick Dix in your profile, because I is a pronoun. But anyway, let me get out of here. How would you mix a psychology degree and a project management certification with STEM? What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, how would you mix a psychology degree and project management case?
I mean, unless you're doing better health on the weekends.
I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, she got the mental health background and but the thing is, this is what people are doing. They're trying to get the PMP, the pimp, what they call it, or cap them, and don't have no STEM background. So I would look a project manager in their face and said, I am a computer programmer. I know how software and hardware work. How are you with no experience in Microsoft project going to tell me how to do what I need to do? It's you don't even know what you're doing. You're building a schedule and work breakdown structures off of, well, this is what it should go. No. You need to have the background if you want to get into that field. And you can't just go take some certifications. You got to know what is the software development lifecycle or the security development lifecycle. You got to know what all this stuff is. So my best bet to you, Tammy, if you want to do all of that, you got to really get some tech background. And somebody else say you can wing it. You can wing it till you come across people like myself. And
I keep telling y'all, get the job. But then if the job asks you any questions, give you any pushback, I was going for the degree anyway.
Yep.
That's my biggest recommendation from what I'm hearing out in the streets. It's like, they're looking for reasons to let people go. Just be like, we're in the process of getting our degree right now. Right. I think you can slide in the door to some of these places, but long term, they're going to say, okay, we have Rick over here. We have Jeff over here. We have Michael. Who we cutting? You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a paperwork thing. It's not even personal.
And even with the AI stuff, I see a lot of people online talk about it. And I'm going to just say this. Now it's coming down to the people that really know what they're doing. You can't finesse when somebody asks you, what do you think is about to happen? Because what people will do, they'll take these certifications and they'll say, well, I know how AI works. Well, please tell Patrick that wrote a research on it and has talked about it around the world, something I don't know that you know. I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm just trying to tell folks, people are tired of being lied to in life right now. And they want truth. They're tired of having, like, what's the lady?
You sure? They out here living like Shannon Sharp sometimes. I don't know.
Well, they can be, but
hold on, I was gonna share this with you. Here, go ahead, keep talking. I'm see if I got it. If I can pull it up.
But people want some truth, and they want to be told what's really going to happen. They're tired of people finessing them. Like, well, you got to do this, you got to do that. Well, see, our community, what we're caught on is the message ain't like. If I was dancing around up here, dapping people up, what I say is pretty much straight to the point, and it tells you what to do and what you need to do. I'm not all this charismatic up there like, well, he don't know. No, charismatic usually is covering something else up because they don't know what they're really talking about. But they don't want to hear that. Erica's channel should have 2 or 3 million subscribers, but because it's boring stuff that's telling you how to get to the next level to stay consistent, other channels out there that's talking about gossip because it's entertaining have 4 and 5 million subscribers.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how it works.
I mean, I'm just like, okay, well, let me take my summer vacation and just run ads. So this is the Black owned businesses in America, Dr. Dix. And I want to bring this up because I had showed this to people. This is pewresearch.org. This is 2025. Again, I just want to show you what are our folks doing right now, Dr. Dix. 25% are in healthcare and social services. Okay. 6.8% is in accommodations and food service. 6.8% in construction, right? 13% over here in professional, technical, and scientific services. Almost 10% in transportation and warehousing. Other services. Okay. Well, let me get over here. Finance and insurance, 3%. Educational services, 2%. Where's the other one I saw that I wanted to point out? Nope, it's not up here. But part of why I was bringing this up is so many people think, I'm gonna start a business, I'm gonna do this internet thing, and I'm like, no, there's categories where people are really doing business in our community, and there is space for you to grow if you want to have a legit business.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Legit is the word.
Paperwork, license, license amigos,
employer insurance.
Yes.
Yeah. That kind of stuff.
So somebody said, how do I feel about sales jobs? Dr. Dix, go ahead. I'm letting you answer these. Go ahead.
It depends on what you're selling. I mean, a lot of stuff they use AI for, but it depends on what you're selling. So that's the biggest thing. So that's the biggest thing. What are you selling and who are you selling it to? Who's your market? And the article in the background will talk more about this. I know a lot of us, we watch skits and stuff. Yeah, once you get that off the screen. Yeah, but Cooler J, it depends on what you're selling. It won't let you look at it.
Hold on. There you go.
Okay. The reason why I put this article here is a lot of us work in warehouses because it's easy and repetitive. You see this drone right here. Amazon is incorporating more artificial intelligence and automation. So what is happening? The space around you is crumbling to where you could just do a job with minimum skills. And the people that know how to fix those drones or know how to fix those robots and those processes really make the money. But the system is stressing around everybody. You got to have some technical skills. You got to have some analytical skills. You cannot live in the world anymore saying, I don't know what this is or how this works. You're not just going to be able to go around on your iPhone and just watch Instagram and TikTok all day. You got to be a producer. And what companies are doing are cutting they're cutting labor out to say, well, we'll try this out, but every other 2 or 3 months, we'll get rid of 100 of you. And then what you're going to find out, well, I'm going to go get another warehouse job. Well, eventually, where you going to work at?
You got to put some skills in between them warehouse jobs. So part of why, so you see the verified drones can scan 1,000 RFID tags per second. Now, I don't know if any of y'all have been to Target or you've been to a warehouse store where you see these people all wearing red shirts and they're scanning all the material, trying to count the inventory. That they're replacing those people essentially in the warehouses.
Yeah,
instead of having 18 people on the floor trying to scan every single item to figure out what is in the company's inventory, if what's left over, what hasn't been stolen. Maybe they're using a whole drone at the factory.
Yeah, and if everybody don't know what RFID is radio frequency identifier. I just wanted to put that out there because you notice now how they get rid of people at the stores. Even the price is digital. You used to have people go around and swap out the price of stuff. Now they're sending a signal to it where they could just hit a button with a computer and change everything. So, the warehouse jobs are going to go down. And somebody will say, I'll say they don't need people to move parts and back up the trucks. But eventually, y'all, these warehouses are going to go from 500 people probably to 100. And the other 400 people don't have a job. And that's pretty much who's going to be running the warehouses.
Well, and if you look at, there's a place in San Antonio, well, it's Seguin, and then there's one in San Antonio that has water. They pick up water for all the HEBs and a few other stores. And one store is run by people and one location is run by robots. The robots take forever. The machines doing everything, but eventually they will get that procedure tightened, right?
Yep.
Now it's like, oh, I want to go to the one with the black men doing the forklift. They go fast. Yeah, you go fast and you damage stuff. So I already know, trust me, as a person who owned a trailer that's been damaged by many a fast black men on a forklift. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, like, they're trying to figure out how to minimize any type of disruption in the marketplace. Like, oh, y'all had another accident this month? Yeah, we're gonna start using the drones over here. We're gonna start using the heavy lifting automation stuff. It's just coming. So it's like you have to decide what's a skill or something you're really I hate to even say the word passionate about it, Patrick. I even tired of hearing people talk about being passionate about something. Like, baby, you can be passionate about drawing cats on the wall, and that's cool. But what are you going to do to be of service of others? That's really the question.
The biggest thing is we are having a workforce gap. And I've mentioned this before, and I recorded a video I'm going to release from the update from 2 years ago. We don't have enough people to replace people in the job market. We don't have enough people having babies that are being born to replace people. And automation and AI can help out with the workforce gap all around the world. Companies are going to move more strategically to this. When you hear them talk about Lean Six and all that other stuff and Six Sigma, this is pretty much what this is. They're trying to increase revenue but lower their operational costs. And one person might cost a facility $100,000 a year when one robot might cost them $20,000 in licensing fees. I'm just throwing a number, and taxes and maintenance.
Hey, is it hot in here?
So that's what the companies are working more to shift to. And the reason why Erica and I and all the other people that come on Tech Tuesday are talking about this, we want to prepare y'all and get you prepared. So when you go to your job one day, they're like, oh, well, half the workforce is gone. So, yeah.
So sorry. I have a family member come in. I was like,
oh, you good.
I be having the light on, but they be like, what that mean? You doing something? Anyway, this ain't a real job right here, Patrick. You know this. I've been doing it for 10 years. It's done bought me houses and cars and took families on vacation, but I'm playing on the internet. So anyways, Salesforce AI infused, and it's really the new workforce, the digital workforce. I just like that way they said that. What's crazy is we don't even want to learn our own communications on how to get ahead. So we have assets and other benefits, opportunities. I think
I'll give you a good idea. I bet if we all were to put together something and say, y'all, we're going to have Dr. Dix come talk to y'all about how to change your life, you might have 30 people show up. You got some media person showing up about nothing that's going to help make your life go better. It's sold out. When in the essence, you're going to need me more than the media person, because the media person already got $10 or $15 million a year coming in.
Right.
Yep. And
we're not the radio DJ.
Yeah, and we're not looking at just what's going on. So, the thing is, we just have to understand what's going on. Oh yeah, I look at it like this. I hang out with Young Jock them and everybody, and like the radio people, and they have given me the opportunity to get access to Atlanta, and more people are listening. I wish more people, like when we air the stuff or talk live, will be more inquisitive about it,
right? And
just call it there and ask questions. But he is aware, and all of the people, Miss Shanika and Shawty and Swin, the DJ, are aware of what's going on. But
I promise you, once you get out here a little bit, not to cut you off, I apologize for cutting you off. I just want to tell you, like, these people working in radio and media, they see like people's cousins getting jobs. They see like favors getting jobs, not the most skilled people. And so that when you have an opportunity to get a job in your favor, not based off who you are, who's your cousin, who's your uncle, can you get somebody to sign you to a rap label? That they know it's big money over there. But continue. I apologize. My bad.
Oh no, you fine. That's all I wanted to say. I work with them and get into connect and just trying to get our community. I just wanted to piggyback off that comment the person made about our community don't understand it. And the opportunity is now, since people can't come to America, people don't understand it's for the taking. You don't have nobody right now. The only people you got to compete against are other Americans. And I'll leave it at that. And I'll leave it at that. Yeah.
So quantum services and financial services are now getting big money in arena of $150,000 to $200,000, and they can't find people. I'm gonna tell you part why they can't find people. The baby boomers are retiring. One, and then two, imagine having a 30-year-old guy try to tell some 50 and 60-year-old people what they need to do with their money as they retire. It's hard to do. I watched a couple of videos on the financial services, and it was saying how they were trying to get experienced people to talk to these older people, because basically older people don't listen to young people. Like, why am I listening to you? What do you know? And so you're in a catch-22 where we need older folks educating on stuff, but we also need older folks to listen because they're the ones trying to retire.
Yep, we do need people to listen. So I think one article in there
Can you
What
see it
you
right
50
there? 50
million?
million
Yeah, 50. Ooh,
in training
50
people.
million Salesforce. But eventually you're probably going to be training your replacement too with this machine learning.
Part of it.
Yeah. 50 mil to invest in the software. Then the other part is to do machine learning to replace the people that work there. So, but yeah.
Larry Love, thank you for the 49 super chat. He said a friend of mine died, not on the job. They dissolved his position at work. Sometimes they won't even replace you. Damn.
No, they won't.
Oh, that's tough.
They won't. And that your job don't care about you.
Sorry to hear about your friend.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. But yeah, we'll get up. You know, Erica, you and I both know people that live for their job. See, it's 8:37 now. They'll get up, they'll go to sleep. Oh, I gotta be to that job at 6 or 7. I can't take and do nothing. I can't have no life. And I get off at 5, and you only got 5 hours to be a human.
Man. Christian said there's a company on LinkedIn that does gunshot detection and alerts nearby units to the area where the shots went off. Man, AI, listen, RoboCop in effect. RoboCop in effect already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of places got those towers in like bad areas, and it'll just alert the cops or whatnot. But yeah, that's the biggest thing. Swift Beats got to keep that felony. We think, I'm gonna tell y'all, I don't know if people can work you can't get a felony at Sponge, but a lot of us need to understand if y'all got kids and nephews, tell them when they 15 and 16, you need to make sure your record is clean as a mirror. There is ShotSpotter. That's the correct thing, Dre Harden. Thank you. You need to make sure your record is as clean as a whistle. There is nothing worse than having to put on there you were convicted of something. We're not talking about like no simple marijuana and DUI. That's other stuff. Yeah, but trying to be cool is not really a good thing right now, because you can't get no government job, you can't get no clearance, you can't get no loans, and then you're gonna blame everybody else and say, "Man, I got the experience and my credit all jacked up, man." But can't tell folks.
I told you about our neighbor over here. His son was on drugs. He stole medicine out the mail. He did all kind of crazy stuff, and the only job he could take was working at their tree farm. They own a Christmas tree farm. They sent him out there to go work for a year or two, came back, got his senses about him, and he went to apply to the fire department. They were like, but our neighbor's a cop, so it's like, all right, we'll do your son a favor. You're not gonna get many favors. The way these systems writing up people's records, you're not gonna get many favors. There was a time in my life I had 5 speeding tickets at one time. Give your girl a break. I went to court, got them all off. But I went to a job interview at a college because my aunt worked at a college, and it was like, hey, they got another spot over here. You can come in. And the guy who's over the department was like, well, I don't want nobody reckless in here. Driving all erratic, reckless. He was an old man. I wanted to sue so bad. I wanted to be like, I'm suing everybody. They was looking up my record, right? But you got to realize this is almost... It's almost 20 years ago. I was doing an internship for the summer. But you got to realize, like, these people been looking at y'all information. They've been looking at everything they can find on y'all because they think it's a way to hold something over your head. And I just be telling people, I'm like, if you're a young person, you got something on your record, as long as you get that first job and you act like you got some sense, you can go into other jobs. But this is why I tell you, if you have handyman skills or you can fix things, you'll never be without work. I know bad contractors that are not without work. I know a contractor in town that does half-ass work, and every week me and my mom laugh whenever I'm in town because we'll see him working on somebody else's house. I'm like, this Negro's terrible. Horrible.
Nobody ever thought to call the county and get his business license revoked.
Negative reviews. I'm talking about bad photos. He's still out here working every week. And I be sitting here like, if y'all just do a full ass job, y'all can have as much money as this old black man has, tearing up people's stuff. Now he'll do the job. He'll do about 75%. Then that last 25%, see, I got busy at my next job. He'd be like, sir, get your ass back.
No levelers, no qualifications. Like,
I mean,
hey,
it's
man.
crazy. And been doing it and too old to be doing it the way he do it. He'd be like, sir, his son was working for him. His son's like, I quit. My daddy just too much. I'm like, sir, I quit too. Because your daddy is too much. Okay. Y'all don't understand. Like, it's hard to get good people. Now, anyway, Brandy said data analyst at an insurance company. Man, that's a big one.
It depends on what you're doing, though. You could be automated data analyst at an insurance company. A lot of the jobs also they you got to look at what kind of data you're going to be analyzing. They it depends on if they put some kind of system in. That's the thing, because with data you're looking for I'm not going to say a theme, but you're looking for the frequency of it. And I teach some students, and now they got AI that can do pivot charts in Excel. If somebody told me there's a job that do Excel, it'll pay you $400,000 a year, I can't even do it, dog. You better pass it to somebody else. I hate Excel.
When they tell me about Excel, I'll be like, baby, it's not within me. The Lord has not gifted me. I've tried multiple times. I can do calculus. I can pass multiple calculus classes. They put me some Excel, I'll be like, get the out of here.
Yeah, they said for 100. They said, could you show us how to do a pivot chart right now? I might as well walk out the job interview.
I'm sorry, sir.
I don't even know what you do. You can't do a pivot chart? Nope.
No, can't do it.
So no,
you got to know your limitations. But I will say this: if you guys have picked up the ebook, we talked about compliance in there. And Dr. Dix, what is one thing nobody wants? What is something nobody wants to happen to their company?
They don't want it to be out of compliance and fail.
That's right. Or be sued. Or I didn't know. Or ignorance of the law is not remove you from the law. So compliance is one of those things there's a lot of opportunity, but they even now getting some AI compliance. The mortgage companies are using AI compliance, all kind of people using compliance. So y'all gotta be smart. But I read this, first thing I thought is this, when she said, my boss is retired, director of department. They split her job in 2 locations. They don't ever want to pay somebody that much again. That's what they just said to y'all.
And another field people need to get into is like risk management. It's a very big field. Because a lot of companies have risk and they need people to do risk management. That's another field you can go into, like cyber risk, but just get out there online and just look for jobs. I mean, y'all, I've done like stuff with people, and I just showed them. They said, I didn't know you could do the search for jobs like this. I'm like, just type it in and see what comes up.
Oh, for sure. Listen, this is cracking me up because first thing I thought of is that TV show when they go to the hoarder's house.
Yeah.
And the therapist be so stressed out. Like they be like, oh, do you want to try to put some of this in the trash today? And I'm like, you good. Okay, let me see. Y'all got a lot in here, so sorry if I'm skipping some of it. Not really. Get a Google certificate, data visualization, tableau.
Yeah,
in data analytics.
I can never say that word, right?
And reduce resume, focusing on analytics and good to go. So MJ Campbell's, as much as I want to agree with this, I would say sometimes when they interview people, they have that weak interview where they just did a bunch of search real quick. They don't have that like robust background knowledge. So as much as I want to say yes to this, and I think there's people who can help you online, various people we bring on the channel, they're going to ask for examples. They're going to ask for portfolio. They're going to ask for something. I mean, you can get in there, but you definitely. Somebody said they worked at Macy's. They used to do RFD scanners to do inventory. We would scan the whole store in 3 hours with 7 people. Man, that's much better than some of them other inventory places, them outdoor inventory places. Let me see. Okay, Christian said, hey, I work in tech sales and business is phenomenal. We sell software to state and local government, and the division I work in is selling SaaS to schools across the United States. Because the schools need to upgrade too, don't they, Dr. Dix?
The education curriculum in America needs to pretty much be scrapped. And you got a lot of kids and students that are about to graduate from high school and college this month that are about to be unemployable for the foreseeable future. Because they were taught the wrong stuff. Test taking. I am against tests. When I recreate, like for instance, when they give me the control of a class, they say you can design it. I do not give tests. I give students real world, and I always have the last assignment. Tell me what you liked about this class. The main thing they say, I had to go search for information. I cannot stand tests in a class. I hate it. And if you can rehearse something or just randomly pick something, it's never really feasible. But our education system is making the kids very unprepared, and then they get to college and they think they're gonna test it well. See, kids are gonna be even more crippled because they think they're gonna AI their way. I say you ain't gonna AI yourself into the work world.
You
You're
ain't
gonna
gonna
be
Google phone. You ain't gonna Google on this phone.
no. You got to know what you got to know what you're doing. You must know what you're doing in the real world. And many of the kids and the adults that's up there trying to cheat the game, I said, oh no, it's about to catch up with you, and you are really going to be at a major disadvantage. That's how I'll leave it at that. But the education system sucks. It's a shame. Our education, they need to have a congressional hearing on the education system in America. They really do.
I mean, the problem is, it's got to be reinforced at home. You already know that. You already know that. As electronic tech website launch course, check them out. I have noticed not many are learning the skill to make repairs to drones and robots. People have no clue. I make a good salary. It's boring and not glamorous. Yeah. People have to, you're talking to people who don't want to be ever bored. That's the crazy part. Never ever.
Success is boring. It's doing the same thing every day. You got to talk to this person. You got to talk to this many people. You got to do this. You got to do that. So, yeah.
Thoughts of a wildfire. I'm at a pretty big tech company, and most of the people are white people and they related. They put their own people on. We have to get in there and get ahead so we can put each other on. I'm just telling y'all, like, go to some of these offices. So all their cousins is in there. Oh, I have somebody I'm recommending for the job. You do? Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Somebody said this chat is super informative right now. Thank you. Man, I'm so glad I'm not in manufacturing world anymore. I had to make that pivot to tech. Shout out to Erica for being indirectly responsible for the pivot. Good talker.
Yeah, we're glad we can help everybody out.
I'm telling you. What is this? Bank ledger of information for sure. Coding and robotics are going to be the only real jobs beside medical fields, trades, and social work. I mean, this guy was talking about essential and non-essential, and I laughed because I thought about the pandemic, how Texas was like, yeah, 90% of the jobs. Like they just went in and like, yeah, all of y'all is essential. But you know, at some point, it'll be more clear.
Yeah, right? If you get educated, you should. My thing, when I was even in Miami talking to like some people, I said, once you get your skill set, you need to go to one state. It's called Texas. Texas is going to be known not only for oil, they're going to be known for artificial intelligence. I said, they are grabbing everything and they're trying to pull it there. I said, I highly recommend you, if you need to get a job in the tech or the blue collar field, you go to Texas. I said, other states are on their way, but people in Texas have a vision and they're trying to roll with it. And I said, that's why they're going to be successful. But other states are trying to come up, but Texas is like the front runner right now.
I was enrolled in a free Excel class. I dropped out because the teacher looked creepy.
Yeah, it's creepy people that do Excel because you got to be up there doing the sigma, not sigma, equations and all that stuff. And
deep into the Excel pages.
Yeah. So,
do you think AI business analyst power platform plus analytics assistant is a step up or lateral to system administrator?
System administrator. System administrator and a business analyst don't really do the same thing.
Yeah, I was like, would he be a CCIS or he be a? Never mind. I'm gonna let.
No, I'm saying the thing. A system admin will control everything on the computer. It's kind of similar to a database administrator. IT business analyst is basically analyzing data. Is a step up. I think a business analyst is a step down from a system admin. That's my opinion on that, because I don't even think those are not even in the same category. Jacob, I'd rather be the system admin than the IT business analyst. You can automate the business analyst. You can't automate how to do people's passwords and when they get locked out and give credentials and stuff. That's how I want people to think. Will my job be around in 36 months? That's the best thing to think about. So any job you do in the future, y'all, are currently, you got to think about, will it be around in the next 36 months? That's how I would go into anything for the foreseeable future.
Salesforce bought Taboola. I'm still saying it wrong. Good stuff.
It's Taboo or something.
It might be.
I don't even know how you pronounce it.
Amos Wilson said, when they don't have jobs for your kids, they will stop teaching them. Only parents that pay premium for kids' education will have access to those trainings. Y'all already know that's happening right now. You see some of
But
these schools in Texas that are really amazing, got computers, got the best of everything, or got just ridiculous football campuses. Books is raggedy, stuff is raggedy. Y'all see what's happening already.
it's gonna catch up with them in this world, how it's going.
Listen, when they talk about they want to close Head Start, people like, oh my God, it's the only babysitter people have. I'm like, the child's 3. Half the time they just in there drawing. Like, they not all learn ABCs. What STEM boot camp would you recommend, Dr. Dix?
I don't know of any boot camps. I recommend if you could go to a boot camp, why not just go to a 2-year school? Yeah.
Well, it
Why not
depends. The crunch of time, right?
Yeah.
Like, same thing with truckers. They want to learn in a 3-week window. I think it's 6-week trainings. It depends.
Yeah, it depends on what you're doing. But you're still gonna have to get some other kind of certification and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Notary
Somebody said, well,
world.
hey, get rid of lawyers? Never. Lawyers gonna make sure they don't get rid of. They're gonna figure out a way to promote to Congress to make sure they don't get rid of. So
let's see what other questions people got before
Ant
we
said,
wind up.
barely do work. They mostly gather requirements and tinker on query here and there. They're mostly communications. Thank you for expanding on that.
Yeah, they're mostly doing the SQL, writing those queries that merge the tables and mess up all the data.
Basic electronics course, then basic avionics course. They have drone pilot certifications now too. Best way to learn is to build projects. DIY kids. I mean, you're still gonna have to show people.
You know the best thing people could do on the week. Do you know how much information, if you spend an hour every day, 7 days a week learning about what you want to do, you know that 7 hours, that's more than some people will do. That'll go tremendously. That'll help you out tremendously, y'all. I'm just want to give y'all a word to the wise. I just thought about that when website launch course thought about basic avionics. Some of y'all, with how your life is going right now, y'all got a lot of free time, man. I'm telling y'all, don't be worrying about traveling, trying to take photos and taking them little glam shots, the men and the women, and rolling around. You better run to get you some certs or education. So
this is the last article we're gonna hit because the other one it ain't let me show. But this one is what I wanted to show you right here. Thank you. I'm still probably gonna pronounce it absolutely wrong, but thank you. I do appreciate it. All right, AI will send 1 in 4 workers to a new job. Salesforce predicts. Okay. The growing use of AI agents, tools that can do human tasks, not just respond to chatbot queries, could be the first big change the technology bridge to the workplace. Not the little rolling chair. Okay.
Gone. Gone.
It says basically they're saving $11,000 per worker with all this new AI stuff they're using, which is interesting.
Yeah, remember,
they're already affecting the financial workers and people holding cybersecurity jobs. That's part of what the article says. I don't know if y'all can see. There you go.
Or you might zoom in. Yep.
Okay. Salesforce studied 200 global HR executives, and their conclusion is AI is acting as digital labor isn't just a trend; it's a business strategy revolution. Salesforce echoes a line previous experts have touted as a pro-AI argument. AI isn't necessarily about replacing people's jobs. Instead, it's about boosting efficiency for your whole workplace. That is code word for get out of here, Pam, who's on Facebook all day. That's what that is code word for. I mean, but at the end of the day, somebody has to manage the data and manage the system. But I'm gonna leave that alone. They said broad AI agent adoption could boost productivity by 30%. Business adoption of agents jumped 327% over the next 2 years. They will have a deep impact on the workplace, HR departments, and reorganize whole teams to think about retraining current workers as well as look for different skills. I apologize, y'all. I don't have my glasses on. Let me see. Someone said, talked about staffing gaps. They talked about in 5 years, most workforce will be built a mix of human workers and digital AI powered laborers. Again, I told y'all you're going to start seeing it be more like parts of Africa, South America. If your family don't have the company and you don't do something that brings in actual money to the company, it's going to be looking real funny. It's going to be looking real funny out here. Listen, facts. Dr. Dix, one of our BAs on the team ran a query for over 30 minutes. It deleted our cloud memory. Baby, he should have just went and packed his desk up. Baby, go ahead and pack your desk up. Go and pack your desk up. General Assembly, Flatiron, boot camps, for sure. Okay, here we go. Dr. Dix, I know this is a tough question to answer, but where do you see tech industry within the next 5 years? Software engineers, DevOps, cyber engineers, and PMs. This is
Uh,
our closing question. Really great question, Christopher. Really great
um,
question.
the next 5 years is quantum computing, and the cybersecurity field is about to be turned upside down permanently. They are not going to continue to pay people because they got supercomputers which they're using. We don't really need programming project managers. You'll need some of these people, but they got to have the skill set. So what everybody want to do now, as I said earlier, they want to get these pimps and say, I'm a project manager. But how are you going to tell somebody with my expertise that has done it better how to run a project, how to build a piece of software and bring it to life? That's where those people really lose. Development, operations, development ops. That field is going to grow. I had my classmate write her research dissertation on that. Software engineering. What's the AI code now? They got something merging to where it's writing the code now already for the people. Software engineering might be mute or work or something.
No, I was about to say Canva code. No, that's not what I was going to say. I meant
software
to say,
engineers. I think software engineers are going to vibe coding. That's exactly what it is. Vibe coding. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Software engineers are going to have a different kind of direction in what they got to do. And I've been yet to be wrong on much of this stuff. I told people 8 years ago the jobs were going to change the way they are. So now we're seeing to where from warehouse, you're going to have to be able to work with this in your brain. And there's just a lot of problems. That's going to come along with this, but it is the opportunity for all of the people that know what to do, to make money.
Well, here's the crazy part. I tried to find that video, but I can't. Next time we do a live, I'll try to get it. But it was a Black woman at Amazon. You know, she got, my kids, I'm working hard for my kids. They were training her how to do high level technical stuff at Amazon so that she could work these machines and do all this data and coding. And I'm like, she's like, yeah, after I do X amount of months, they're going to bump my income up. And everybody who was a tech person was like, they're paying her nothing. Like they were angry about it. But I'm like, Amazon figured it out. They're going to have to pull some of these people off the floor that can be managers, or like, hey, you want to learn how to do this? We're going to give you some extra dollars at work and just test it out. They're going to train them people on the job. They're going to have to. Because instead of like, we have to hire out and pay you so much and get you over here and pay a stipend to get you to move, man, these people gonna train some of these people at these jobs for stuff that's lower level. Especially when they tell me they're doing all these boot camps in Guatemala. If Google and Apple can do boot camps in Guatemala, they can do it in Compton. They can do it in Houston.
Yeah,
they can do it in South Dallas.
The answer, thoughts of a wildflower, she was talking about why the cybersecurity field, because y'all could Google this. The RSA encryption and the advanced encryption standard we've been using since the early 2000s, the quid bits and the supercomputers can break that encryption already. That's why the cybersecurity field is about to be turned upside down, because what worked before doesn't work anymore. And you can Google quantum computing affecting cybersecurity. Now companies are trying, even the NIST, the National Institution of Standards in NIST, I think that's what I'm saying it correctly. They're even trying to get ahead and figure out, we got to create some kind of new standard, because what quantum computing is a supercomputer, it can find a way to break the encryption, which is already done. So really nothing right now in the foreseeable future. It'll be to be able to be encrypted. But once people like Google harness the power of the supercomputers and apply it to it, unless we have a way to really fix it and keep stuff safe, we're in for a very, very serious rude awakening.
Okay.
That's why I tell folks to understand what's going on.
I'm going to close out with this comment. Tammy, please stop trying to, this is a fear-based thinking. I've studied for a year and now everything's changing. It will always keep changing. Every day, always. It will always change. Like they're still hiring people for cybersecurity jobs that will change in the next 2 years. They're still hiring people for certain careers that are going to change in the next 2 years. Your key is not to study for 10 years on something and you'll be like, I'm finally ready. No, you're to study, hop in, and keep moving. Okay. I don't know if y'all saw Master at IT. He did a video. He said there was a guy called him and said, hey, man, I'm finally ready to take these tests and work with you. And he was like, on what? He read off a test to him. He's like, man, they done changed that test 3 times in the past, 5 years. Why'd you wait so long? That test is not even the same test anymore. And so you got to realize, even if you say in a year doesn't sound that long, but I'm just be honest with y'all. Like, you need to be able to study in 3 months. You need to be able to study in 90 days and go take a test. Oh, I have kids, I have a life, I have all this stuff. I get it. I hear you. But at the end of the day, like, either you need to be and even people that are going to WGU or what is it called? WG, whatever for tech, that stuff's gonna change in a year too.
Yeah, the curriculum got to stay updated. Yeah. The thing is, anybody listening to this or the replay, get quantum computing is what you need to start to study. Get ahead of the next thing, so when that happens, you're already ahead and you can run to what's happening. But dream out loud. Most people background so screwed up, they cannot get no TS. They cannot get no top secret sensitive compartment information with no full scope, full poly. You know that too. Most people credit jacked up, and when they run their social security number, it is very hard to get polygraph. It's hard to get a clearance. And you got to find a place that'll sponsor you. But she made a good suggestion. But to those out there that can get it, it is golden. I've had mine. It'll be 13 years. But I'm telling folks, man, your background got to be so clean. You got brilliant people. They can't even get it.
Yeah.
So
anyways, alrighty. We're going to get out of here. They over here eating in the background.
Oh, but yeah, lastly, I know y'all can find me on Instagram at King of Automation _AI. Y'all know y'all can reach out to me for Calendly, for
how they book a call with you.
Calendly, yeah. You want it in here or what?
I do, and I'm gonna pin it to the first top comment when this video renders. Again, somebody said in the comments they wanted to book a call with you, so you gotta, like, if you share it with me, I can put it in here. But
all right, y'all, let me do it right now.
But I'm also gonna copy paste it and put it.
And then, y'all, I will be in the state of Texas I'm talking while I'm finding this thing. In July, I'll be at Prairie and A&M University.
Ooh, when it's hot.
Yeah, and then I'll be at Lone Star College in August. So I will be the good old state of Texas, helping out.
Maya says she had her security clearance for 17 years, but she got out of contract industry a year ago.
It won't let me let me do it in the private chat.
You got to put it in the private chat.
Okay, I just send it to you, the private chat. So yeah, I'll be in that area, and I'm usually in the streets of Atlanta, Miami. You can find me in Atlanta, Miami.
In the streets, y'all. Can y'all see that?
Overseas, I'm a little bit of everywhere. So
man of international travel and mystery.
Yeah, I ain't been nowhere. So think about hitting up Tokyo. I want to go see these robots in person in the fall. So
they need our money so bad too. So
yeah.
If y'all can see this, I'm also gonna tag this in the comment section when this.
But everybody come follow me on Instagram. I got some videos I'm gonna be posting that I recorded about my trips and journeys. On TikTok too. But yeah, we here and I want to help as many people as I can. So y'all just hit me up, book that consultation, and we'll see what we could do to help everybody out.
For sure. All right, you guys, this link is going to be pinned to the top comment. If you enjoyed this commentary, if you enjoyed the show, there was over 220 people here. Hit the like button, drop a 1 in the comments, and listen. Happy birthday.
Thank y'all. Thank you, Brandy. Yeah, it ain't till next week.
Hey, it don't matter. Happy birthday.
Oh yeah, I'll be a good old 41, 9 years from hitting that magical number of 50. We're getting old.
No, not Shannon Sharp old.
No. I'm getting better, y'all. Every year I feel like I'm getting better up in here.
I feel you. All right, you guys, this is your girl Erica Classy Clown Blog. Thank you so much for being here on the 2 times Tuesday. All right, Patrick Dix, you guys have a great day.
Y'all